One, people should be investing in the beginning and just in themselves. Every chance you get to go to something that could possibly help you, if it has a 1% chance of even adding to the value you have in spend the money. Don't sit on money. Money's useless. So if you have $5,000 left in your account, I would spend the whole $5,000 on yourself. When you spend money on yourself, you're gonna start getting better at whatever you're doing. If you just keep doing it, if you keep spending it, just because you spent it once and it didn't work, go do it again. And then again, and then again. That has been one thing in my life. Like if you ask me, hey, what's one thing? I always invest in me first. Not the business.
Not the business.
Not the real estate, me. My condition, how am I doing? Am I around the right people? Am I listening? Like, I don't care what it is, dinner, lunch, charities. I just go to anything where I think there's other people doing well. Like, I just want to hear somebody say something that just inspires me. 10X rule is based on, look, the goals people are setting are too small. You know, I want to get a good job. I want to get married. I want to be happy. The goals are wrong. And I hate to tell somebody their goals are wrong, but I don't know that your goals are wrong. You know, I know that my goals have always been too small. Everything I have done in my life has not been, I have underestimated what I could do. Every time I've gotten to where I was like, dang, dude, that wasn't even that hard. Like, it wasn't even that difficult. And it got easier as I got rid of the people that said I couldn't do it. Yeah. Mostly, it wasn't really people saying I couldn't do it. It was mostly people saying, dude, but why do you need to? They were questioning why I need to, right? So if your kid decides, man, he don't want to be an astronaut. He's like, I don't want to be an astronaut, dude. I want to be the guy that creates the company that sends millions of people to another planet. See, he's like, why would I want to be the pilot, dude? He's just another worker. I want to be the Elon Musk that figured it out, right? So, and you'll be like, man, just be happy to be an astronaut, right? But he's got a bigger dream, and we should all. That's the first thing I would tell people. Look, whatever you think your dream is, one, you got to add money. You got to. People are having goals and dreams without money. You know, there's all these quotes on the internet. A goal without a date is merely a wish that will never happen, whatever. Dude, a goal without money attached to it, okay, is something that will never be accomplished because there is no goal on this planet that doesn't require money, including happy. To be happy, you need money. And your audience is, I'd love to see their comments. Like, you cannot be happy without money. The only way you can be happy and broke is to be insane.
Yeah.
Because only an insane person would say, yeah, dude, we're all good. I don't know where food's coming from tonight, but I'm happy. That means, well, I don't know where how you're paying for your drugs. Because you can't be happy knowing I can't pay for the next meal. It's just, it's mentally impossible. I used to listen to guys that were millionaires. Mm-hmm. And they were, like, when I look back now, I'm like, oh, they were all like, don't get bigger. Bigger's not better. Fly under the radar. You know, what matters is how much you make, how much you net, how much you keep, save your money, everything. All those guys that are worth 2 and 3 and 4 million, even some guys that are worth 5 and 10, dude, they're all about contraction. That's right. They're trying to save, conserve what they have. Because when you start talking to these other dudes, I'm not talking about myself now. When I get around guys that are worth 600 million, 800, 4 billion, they never talk about that. Dude, they think my money's chump money. They're like, dude, that's not money right there. Dude, look, quit looking at your notes. Okay, what do you want to do here?
It's in my notes.
No, but it's in you. Okay. What do you want? What does Tommy need to do now? Tommy's making 400 grand, worried about somebody that's no good. Okay. Where does Tommy need to go? Screw the mechanics. Okay. Where you been? Screw where you been. Okay. Dude, where are you in the right vehicle? You have to change. Okay, where you been means nothing. None of this. The chick that you hired in New Orleans, what you did last year, dude, none of it matters. Well, where are you going to go? No, you just want to skip now, dude. You just want to drop the past. It doesn't matter, okay? So my goal for you, I don't know if it's your goal, but I'm hearing you say some of this, is let's just go to number 1 in your market. Sketchy people can't see everything. You know, I've learned this in my own life and with other people. Like, people that take shortcuts can't see very well.
And like you can see everything I'm doing. You see the e-commerce, you see the traditional, you see the sales calls that we make, you see what I'm doing on social, you see the real estate plays, you see everything I'm doing. So another person could study everything that I'm doing and not see everything I'm doing because they're sketchy.
And they're like stuck right here.
They're criminals. They're taking shortcuts, and they're looking for shortcuts, and all they see is shortcuts. They can't see everything. So the more honest a person is, the more they can see. And the less honest a person is, the less they can see. It's why a thief robs a house and steals less than he could have made just servicing the same exact house.
Right.
The guy would have given more money to like take care of him if he could see. Instead, he saw a watch and took the watch.
I say this all the time, like if you learn to love the thing you hate, you might find a big gift in it. And for me, I didn't like sales. I hated it. I tried selling when I was 17 years old, lost the job. 18, I tried again part-time during the summer, lost the job. 19 years old, lost the job. I had 5 experiences in sales and hated every one of them. All different industries. I just kept moving industries thinking, okay, it'll be different. This will be easy to sell. I hated sales. I hated talking to people. I particularly hated the beginning, the rapport building. You know, I'm not good at breaking ice. Like Ron Secco, he can talk to anybody. I can't do that. I can't go into a room. I could speak to 35,000 people, but I can't go into a room and start warming it up. It's just, I'm uncomfortable. So the point I'm trying to make is when I was 25, the only job I could get was a sales job. And I said, hey, you got to decide that you're going to get good at this, even if you hate it. Yeah. Because you can't lose another job. It would have been my 6th firing. And I'm like, I cannot lose another job. I did, by the way, get fired from that place. But they never got rid of me because I kept selling stuff. Yeah. So every time they'd fire me, I'd go back and sell something. They'd be like, okay, you can stay another day until the next time you mess up something. So, you know, I went from hating sales to committing to it to becoming now known as like one of the greatest living salespeople on the planet. Yeah. So in the things you hate, like where does the hate come from? Like the things that you hate, the things that just grind you out, like just bug you, there's probably, if you just stay with it and look, just move to the side a little bit and look behind it, there might be some great gift. The problem was I do what a lot of entrepreneurs do. The mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is, number one, they never look up the definition entrepreneur. An entrepreneur means someone who organizes a business or businesses and invests money, takes greater than normal risk with money in order to expand or organize those businesses. I wasn't spending money on my business. Like all I was doing was knocking on doors. It was just pure effort. I wasn't spending money. Like I wouldn't spend real money until I was 50 years old, about 10 years ago, when a guy said, bro, you're not a business. And I said, what? And I could feel this. Yeah, I was a hustler. I was a grinder, but I wasn't a business. And I could feel it, you know. I was a consultant. I was making some money, like in my 30s and 40s. I made a lot of money. What other people would call a lot of money. Yeah. But I was not a business. You know what I mean? I was just.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I was just hustling. Just because you're hustling. Everything was a transaction. Yeah. Everything was a transaction to get money, pay the taxes, have a little bit of money left over. Everything was a transaction. Yeah. And this guy's like, well, you know, you're not a business. And I was like, I know, man, I know. Don't tell anybody. I know that, okay? Like, I knew it. And because to me, a business is I can walk away from it, it'll still operate. I was a guy. I was no different than when I was 30, just pounding doors. And which was good. And I think a lot of people you don't need to skip that spot either. Because once I put the two together, okay, I can pound the door. I can learn e-commerce. I can be a one product sale. I can sell to companies. Like today, we'll sell a product to a company for $80,000 on a 3 to 5 year contract, $80,000 a year. Yeah, wow. And I'll switch immediately and sell an $8 product online, or I'll give something away for free, to speaking to 4,000 people today in hopes that I can meet, you know, maybe 40 of them that I can have a partnership and a collaboration with in the future.
life balance, you got to have money. Like,
Yeah.
this is the taboo thing to say. It's never going to be on TV. Nobody likes. You got to have money. Nobody ever says this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do this, I do that. I had blah, duh, dude. You got to have money. You can't. You know what do I mean by that? Like, okay, well, like create the life you want.
Yeah.
Quit saving money. You know, quit buying watches and H belts. Like, I don't have an Hermes belt. Like, I didn't even know how to pronounce Hermes. I'm like, well, who would spend $700-800 on a belt? Like, I could buy $3,000 worth of real estate with a $700 belt, right? And who am I trying to impress anyway? What I need a trainer to come to me. So you buy your Hermes belt, I'm gonna buy a trainer to come to me. I don't want to go to him. Okay, time is money. It's not money is time. It's time is money. So why am I going to get in a car and drive to the trainer? Here, I'll give you another $200. You come to me. Okay, you come to me. I walk down there. I do my workout. Boom, I'm done. Well, he's still driving 40 minutes, and I'm already taking a shower and doing a business deal. So you got to figure out the things in your life. You know, when I went from, okay, I'm never going to work for below my pay grade anymore. Like, this was a big shift for me. Like, I like gardening. I like landscape stuff, right? When I got rid of a yard, I was like, that probably made me $10 million. I loved it. I spent too much time doing it. It was costing me money. It was below my pay grade. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, oh, because it's therapeutic. Well, good, man. Like not 2 hours of it. Therapeutics costing you millions of dollars because you're out there playing with stuff. That made me feel good and everything, but there's got to be a faster, better way to do that, to get that sensation.
It's the question that everybody asks. How do you do it all, dude?
Yeah.
Like what you do, if you want to get it, if you want to do it all, quit compromising on what it takes to do it all. And, you know, the thing that we confront at my house is money. And this is the thing that most people are not confronting. They're not confronting money. What they're doing is they do budgets. We have enough money to do this. I don't do a budget. What I do is, what do I want? How much money does it take? And then I go create the money. You know, this is what we did thousands of years ago when you hunted. If you were hungry, you're like, I'm hungry. What do we want to eat? Well, whatever. What can we eat? What can we kill? What can we go? And my job back then was to go out and not come home, dude, until like I didn't have anybody to blame. You could blame Brexit. You can blame everybody you want to blame. But if your kids need to eat, right? So back then it was like get food. Now it's like people are like, I'm just going to take whatever they give me, and I'm going to make sense of it. As opposed to like, what life do I want? I need a nanny, okay? I don't want my kids to go to school. I went to school. I went there, I sat with the other little numbnut loser kids that I was. I was there to distract every child in the room, okay? I had no interest in the class. My job was to make sure he didn't learn anything, and that you and I had fun, and that the teacher went home and had the worst day of her life. I hated school. So I hated every second of it. I don't want to do that to my kids. So what do I need? Oh, I need a nanny. What's a nanny cost? $80,000 a year. Oh, then I got to bring her around with me and feed her. And then I got to put her in a hotel room, so I need another room. So you guys start doing the math on all this. Okay, I don't want to, I got my nanny, I got two kids with us. We want to travel around the world. What's that going to cost? What's it cost to be gone 30 days and be in nice places that are secure, service, a chef? Like, no, none of our parents got us ready for that kind of budget.
So it's
what they said was get a good job. That job will pay 85,000 pounds.
and make do with what
And make do with the 85,000. It's the wrong way to do the math, dude. What kind of life do you want? Not what can you make sense of? What kind of life would allow you to be able to do work and life? Oh wow, man! You know what? If I'm gonna travel, I need a plane, dude. Then you got a new calculation to do. Then I need pilots. Then I need a place to keep the plane. Then I need insurance, and all of a sudden the whole thing gets really complicated. And you're like, damn, I need some money. Now you start picking what would produce enough money. You start thinking creatively. Once you commit, you start thinking creatively. Again, look, I started with nothing. For me to be doing what I'm doing today is because I'm committed to figuring out, I'm as committed to this as the drug addict is committed to the heroin. And he has no money. But he has no money. His reputation sucks. He owes every drug dealer in town, and he'll still get his fix. He'll still figure out how to get his deal.
This is insanity that you're being told don't monetize your business. If you have a good business, have a good service, have a good product, sell it. You know, but so many guys they're trying these little kid gimmicks. You know, it's fine if my kids flip shoes on eBay. If you're an adult, man, you got to get beyond flipping sneakers on eBay. You need to build a business. Otherwise, don't call yourself an entrepreneur, because that's not what an entrepreneur is not flipping on eBay. That's not a business. That's you trying to make $2 on a toy that you bought at a garage sale. It's a different gig. Now, if you can figure out how to scale that, but it sounds to me like you're benefiting eBay more than you're benefiting yourself. eBay is the pimp, and you're basically the prostitute in that machinery, which is no problem with that, right? But you're servicing the machine rather than building your own machine. I want to build a machine. I want to build a machine that lives longer than I do, so that if I get a good partnership with somebody and we cut a deal and they're 90% of the profits and future and I'm 10%, and my kids or my charity get to keep that 10 after I'm dead, man, I'm good to go.
So what's next? Like, you got the jet, like what's next, man?
Man, I don't know.
What's 10X for you now?
10X is, you know, how do I do $1 billion a year in income? And then how do I do $10 billion in real estate? How do I have a $10 billion real estate portfolio? Last month we paid $1.4 million out in distribution. Last month we paid $1.4 million in US dollars out to our investors in the real estate. How do I start competing with these banks? So they're like, you know what? We really don't like all this noise you're making. You're a noisy guy, and we're kind of getting tired of it now. When you get noisy enough, they either buy you and suppress you. You know, that's what Bill Gates did with Apple years ago. The tablet, the original iPhone was a little called, what was the name of that little beast? Anyway, it had a little pen you wrote on it. They buried that project for years. I'll think of it in a second. I'll think of it when the interview's over. Maybe you guys know what it is, okay? Anyway, it's probably 20 years ago. I actually had a company built around this thing, and Bill Gates came in, gave Apple, Steve Jobs a loan, and said, look, I'll lend you this money. You got to bury that product. And they did. So that's what you can do. Or they consume you. They buy you and say, hey, we want you to be part of our... So maybe that's what happens, Nathan. I don't know. Get the audio guy to get a good sticker for the mic. Spirituality is the number one most important thing to me in my life. Like, before my wife and my kids is my understanding of God.
Yeah.
And my dreams come from that connection and that understanding. And my dreams and my goals are not really financial. It's potential. So when I talk about, you know, people ask me, probably the most painful question I get is, when is enough enough? And I'm like, man, you guys ought to check in with God on that.
Yeah. Right?
Because my potential is what I'm going after. It's not some number. I got a guy asking me about my net worth. I'm like, dude, what it's a stupid question. It's an ego thing, right? Yeah. What I'm interested in is my potential, possibility, discovery. And for me, that potential is the thing that strings me and God. And that potential is my dreams. It's like, what could I do? What's possible? And the other thing is about the blessing. You know, you hear people, I was in Atlanta, I'm like, man, I'm blessed. And everybody's like, oh yeah, praise the Lord. I'm like, yeah, everybody's blessed. Everybody's blessed. I've never met somebody that's not blessed. Most people are not proving it though. They're blessed and not validating God every day.
Wow.
So I have a very, very powerful, very strong, and very clear understanding of my relationship with God, and it is first and foremost with me. Other people won't understand it, right? But I every day, every deal, undoing a deal, like I've undone deals, Hey guys, this deal's no longer good for me. And that was me at my highest ethical. What do you mean? You got a deal? We got a deal. You signed a contract. That's right. And now we're going to undo this deal. And I'm going to undo it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to figure it out. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Hey, this deal's not good for me. And if it's not good for me, it's not good for my family. It's not good for my future. It's not good for my ability to give to charities. It's not good for you either. So rather than me just walking away, why don't we just rework the deal so that we're both happy and everybody wins? Very difficult thing to do.
But you allow that to be your dominant driver.
Because another person might be bound by that agreement. They're like, no, we have a deal. I have to do what I said I'm going to do because they're bound by some rule that they made some agreement. Hey, if that agreement's no longer good for you, no God would want you to continue. What you'd want to do is communicate, which is harder to do.
Yeah.
You know, so the ability for my wife and I to communicate about anything, even if it's tough and it's, believing in God is more than just believing in God. It takes courage to go out every day and validate it.
Because if you actually believe, you have to do.
And you ought to do well too. And if you have to me in my mind, like, if I have a good, really strong, good working relationship with God, I would be successful at everything. Physically, in my marriage, in business, with my customers, online. I would have good reviews, not bad reviews.
Yeah.
Like, you ought to have the whole package. I don't think God had a partial package. I think it was probably the whole deal. And the other thing is the work thing, like I see a lot of people that believe in God that don't work. They're like, oh yeah, but they're taking 2 and 3 days off. God don't even take that much time off. He takes 1 day off.
Yeah.
And look what he did before he took the day off.